Vayyiqra chapter 23, Leviticus chapter 23. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe and saying, Speak to the children of Yisrael and say to them the appointed times of Yah, which you are to proclaim as holy Kodesh gatherings. My appointed times are these. 6 days work is done, but on the seventh is a Sabbath of rest, a Kodesh gathering. You do no work on it. It is a Sabbath to Yah in all of your dwellings. These are the appointed times of Yah, Kodesh gatherings which you are to proclaim at their appointed times. In the first month, on the 14th day of the month, this is usually between March and April, between the evenings is the Pesach to Yahuwah. And on the 15th day of that month, it is a festival of Metzov, or unleavened, to you. 7 days you will eat unleavened bread. On the first day, you have a Kodesh gathering, and you shall do no work. And you shall bring an offering made by fire to Yah for 7 days. And on the 7th day, it is a Kodesh gathering, and you do no work. Yahuwah spoke to Moshe and said, Speak to the children. Oh, excuse me, guys, I'm very tired. Speak to the children of Israel, and you shall say to them, When you come into the land which I give you, and shall reap its harvest, then you shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest to the Kohen, and he shall wave the sheaf before Yahuwah for your acceptance. On the morrow after the Sabbath, the Kohen waves it. And on that day when you wave it, you shall prepare a male lamb, 1 year old, a perfect one, as a burnt offering to Yah. Its grain offering is 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with oil, an offering made by fire to Yah of sweet fragrance, and its drink offering, 1/4 of a hin of wine. You do not eat bread or roasted grain or fresh grain until the same day that you have brought an offering to your Elohim, a law forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings. And from the morrow after the Sabbath, from the day that you brought that offering and wave offering, you shall count for yourselves 7 completed Sabbaths. Until the morrow after the 7th Sabbath, which means on a Sunday, you will count 50 days. Then you shall bring a new grain offering to Yah. Bring from your dwellings for a wave offering 2 of bread, or 2/10 parts of fine flour, baked with leaven, first fruits to Yah. And besides the bread, you shall bring 7 lambs 1 year old, perfect ones, and 1 young bull, and 2 lambs. They are burnt offerings to Yahuwah with their grain offering and their drink offering, an offering made by fire for sweet fragrance to Yah. And you shall offer 1 male goat as a sin offering, and 2 male lambs 1 year old as a peace offering. And the Kohen shall wave them, besides the bread of the first fruits as a wave offering before Yah, besides the 2 lambs. They are Kodesh to Yah for the Kohen. And on this same day you shall proclaim a holy meeting, a Kodesh meeting for yourselves. Do not work on it. This is a law forever in all your dwellings throughout your generations. When you reap the harvest of your land, do not completely reap the corners of your field. When you reap it, do not gather any gleanings from your harvest. Leave them for the poor and for the strangers. I am Yahuwah your Elohim. And Yah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, In the 7th month. Now this would be around September, October. Okay, these are now the fall feast. And the other ones we've read about so far were the spring feast, okay, and one in the summer. On the first day of the month, you have a rest, a remembrance, a blowing of trumpets, a Kodesh gathering. You do no work, and you shall bring an offering made by fire to Yah. And this would be ordinary work up here. So if you do something Sunday through Friday to earn wages, something you do every day, don't do it on this day. Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, on the 10th day of the 7th month is Yom HaKippur, which is Yom Kippur, which is a day of atonement. It shall be a Kodesh gathering for you, and you shall afflict your beings. A lot of fasting is done on this day, afflicting yourself. And you shall bring an offering made by fire to Yahuwah. And you do no work on that same day, for it is a Yom Kippur, to make atonement for you before Yahuwah your Elohim. Any being who is not afflicted on that same day, so one who is not fasting, who is not denying their flesh, on that same day he shall be cut off from his people. Any being who does any work on that day, I shall destroy from the midst of the people. You do no work. This is a law forever throughout your generations and all your dwellings. It is a Sabbath rest to you, and you shall afflict your souls, or beings. On the 9th day of the month at evening, from evening to evening you observe your Sabbath. And Yah spoke to Moshe, saying, speak to the children of Israel, say, on the 15th day of this 7th month, this is the festival of Sukkoth for 7 days to Yahuwah. On that first day is a Kodesh gathering, you do no work. And for 7 days you bring an offering made by fire to Yah. On that 8th day there shall be a Kodesh gathering for you, and you shall bring an offering made by fire to Yah. It is a closing festival, and you do no several work. These are the appointed times of Yahuwah, which you proclaim as Kodesh gatherings, to bring an offering made by fire to Yahuwah. A burnt offering and a grain offering, a slaughter and drink offering, as commanded for every day. Besides the Shabbatot of Yahuwah, and besides your gifts, and besides all your vows, and besides your voluntary offerings which you give to Yah, on the 15th day of the 7th month, when you gather in the fruit of your land, celebrate this festival of Yahuwah for 7 days. And on the first day is a rest, and the 8th day is a rest. You shall take for yourselves on the first day of fruit of good trees, branches of palm trees, twigs, leafy trees, and willows of the stream, and you shall rejoice before Yahuwah your Elohim for 7 days. And you shall celebrate it as a festival for 7 days in the year, a law forever in your generations. Celebrate it in the 7th month. Dwell in booths for 7 days. This could be like tents. You're supposed to make it out of those, a lot of people take these pieces of nature from verse 40 and sort of help instruct like a tent-like structure. Okay, dwell in booths for 7 days. All who are native Israelites will dwell in booths, so that your generations know that I made the children of Israel dwell in booths when I brought them out of the land of Mitzrayim, and I am Yahuwah your Elohim. Thus did Moshe speak of the appointed times of Yahuwah to the children of Israel. Hallelujah. A great calendar to help you find what month we're in, what day we're in for the Hebrew Biblical Calendar. I found a great resource. It is by the Sabbath Keepers Fellowship. I will put their link below. They do a beautiful work where they wait till the harvest, and the barley harvest is near ready. They wait for that new moon that comes after that, and that would be the first day of the year, the New Year's Eve, the New Year, if you will. And that usually takes place, the time the barley is ripe is usually about mid-March to April. That's usually when it falls. Okay, it usually gets ripe around that time when it's planted. And that's how you tell. And there are many resources out there There may be some that are against the Sabbath Keepers version, but I have studied many out there, and there's more websites. But I will say that the Sabbath Keepers Fellowship is the one that I am following right now. And I've looked into the Zadok, I've looked into the Enoch, I've looked into just the Jewish calendar, because I know on Google, if you have a smartphone and you have Google Calendar on there, you can actually go to your settings and switch it to the Jewish one. And before, I learned that the Jewish was pretty rabbinical, and it was a calculated time, just like the Gregorian is. There's Christmas every 25th of the month. They don't have any like agriculture or biblical way to tell that. It's just a set time. That's how they do it in the Jewish calendar too. But when I was first transitioning away from the Gregorian calendar and trying to understand this biblical calendar so I can follow these appointed times with others to obey these commands, I found Sabbath Keepers Fellowship as a beautiful resource and a beautiful calendar that they make that you can get on their website for free. You can even donate. You can get one sent to you, mailed to you. You can order one online. But the free one is on their website, on there to see it digitally. Okay, so if you're interested, I will put that link below. Now let's read chapter 24 to read on about some of the commandments that Yah is giving to Moshe to give to the children here. Chapter 24. Yah spoke to Moshe, saying, "Command the children of Israel that they bring to you clear oil of pressed olives for the light, to make the lamps burn continually. Outside the veil of the witness of the tent of appointment, Aaron is to arrange it from evening until morning before Yah continually. This is a law forever, throughout your generations. He is to arrange the lamps on the clean gold lampstand before Yahuwah continually. And you shall take fine flour and bake 12 cakes with it, 2/10 parts in each cake. And you shall put them in 2 rows, 6 in a row, and on the clean table before Yah. And you shall put clear frankincense on each row, and it shall be on the bread as a remembrance portion, an offering made by fire to Yahuwah. On every Sabbath he is to arrange it before Yahuwah continually from the children of Israel. This is an everlasting covenant. And it shall be for Aaron and his sons, and they shall eat it in the Kodesh place, because it is most Kodesh to him, from the offerings of Yahuwah made by fire, an everlasting law. And the son of an Israelite woman, whose father was a Mitzrite, went out among the children of Israel. And the Israelite woman's son and a man of Israel strove in the camp. And the Israelite woman's son blasphemed the name and cursed. So they brought him to Moshe. Now his mother's name was Shelomith, the daughter of Devri of the tribe of Dan. And they put him in under guard, that it might be declared to them at the word of Yahuwah. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, "Bring the one who is cursed outside the camp, and all of those who heard him shall lay their hands on his head. All the congregation shall stone him. And speak to the children of Israel, saying, anyone who curses Elohim shall bear his sin. And he who blasphemes the name of Elohim shall certainly be put to death. All the congregation shall certainly stone him, and the stranger as well as the native. When he blasphemes the name, he is put to death. And he who smites the life from any man shall certainly be put to death. And he who spites a beast repays it body for body. And when a man inflicts a blemish upon his neighbor, as he has done, so it is done to him. Fracture for fracture, eye for eye, tooth for tooth. As he inflicts a blemish upon him, so it is done to him. And he who smites a beast repays it. And he who kills a man is put to death. You are to have one right ruling for the stranger and for the native, for I am Yah, your Elohim. Moshe spoke to the children, and they brought the one who cursed outside the camp. And they stoned him with stones. And the children of Israel did as Yahuwah commanded Moshe. I will be back with another video for chapters 25 and so on. Let me know in the comments below. I have a question about this. You know, Yeshua says later when we read the New Testament, or Yahusha, we hear that he says, before you have heard an eye for an eye or tooth for a tooth, but I say, if you so ever look at your brother with anger, you've murdered in your heart. So, you know, and here, oh, I'm sorry guys, let me try to find it. Right here in verse 20. Factor for fracture, eye for eye, tooth for tooth. He inflicts a blemish upon him, and so it is done to him. So, if this is Yah saying this, and he says, and the son, and you know, he says it later, before you have heard this, but now I say, I guess he's like adding on to this. He's not saying that this isn't taking place anymore. He's saying, you know, you've heard it in the Torah, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. But I'm telling you that this is murder. So if you even think with anger, it's murder also. Or I have a question about that, how those two are linked. Because here it says clear that Yah is declaring this and commanding this, is what I'm thinking. Okay, so help me get some clarification on that. I'll pray about it too, but let me know in the comments below if you know, you know, why it says it there. Yah says that that's what's to be done, but it seems as if Yeshua is saying something along with that. Let me know. Alright, I pray you all are well out there, and may Yah bless you and keep you. May His face shine upon you and be gracious to you. Shalom, shalom.